Hello guys, what's up my YouTubers? Today we're working on a Toyota 2016 Fila wagon. Customer complaining that the vehicle went in an accident, and we did the body work and stuff, and we spray bucket everything up to working, but then they noticed that the fuel gauge hasn't been working, it's malfunctioning. So let's take a look today and see what will be the issue and the cause of it to be malfunctioning. So this is the car. When you turn on the ignition, look at the pump it behaving. So that's the fuel pump there. There's the gauge. So right now it have gas, but then it go up till up to F, and then it drop down back, and it literally malfunctioning. So we want to take a look at the gauge to see what's going on, because they have fuel in the tank but nothing is happening. See there? And at one time you're gonna go till up till to the bottom. So to do this, we want to check all the fuse, all the relay, make sure everything is intact in terms of the fuel pump relay, the gauge relay. And I checked that is in working condition. I switched them and it's working. So we have to do a manual check to see what's going on with the fuel gauge and see if it is malfunctioning. So here we go guys. So I did some extra work in opening the fuel gauge. So there is a cover, you have to slack off that, but before you take that off, you have to take off this here. So this is one of the return line. This is the fuel pump line that's sending the gas to the engine. This is a switch, and this is the this line in the back, if you could see it, that's the vacuum hose, right? Because you know the fuel inside the tank, of course you gotta get air in order for it to work. So there we go guys, that's the culprit, the float, right, for the gas right there, as you can see right there has been slipped off. The vehicle had an accident. The left backside wheel, the left back wheel was smashed in, so the vibration and the impact that the vehicle took could cause it to come off, slip off, and that's what we're looking at today. So the gauge, the float we call it, and there we go. The float is in right here. Let's take it out and see. And there is the bastard. So there's the fella. So we're gonna go ahead, put this back on, and then we're gonna see if it works. So let's see what happens. So there we go. It's here. Let's take it out and see. And there is the bastard. So there's the fella. So we're gonna go ahead, put this back on, and then we're gonna see if it works. So let's see what happens. So there we go. I put on back the float. Let me see if I can show you. Now this is the float. Alright. I place it on back to the system, and then let's see. Then that's here. If you could see between here, to have a little fine. Let me see if we could get a good view for you. Yeah, you see the same fine pin there in the corner there? Yeah, that goes up and down to this reading here, and this fine thing on this here, that's the gauge. Let me see if we get a little better view. Yeah, you see how fine it is. So yeah, so it's gonna go up and down. It reads like this. So here we go. So when the tank is full, this raises up and stick the bottom. When it's empty, it goes down back. So this is how that works. So yes guys, so you can see, put on back the plastic, and then we're gonna turn this, tighten it, make sure it is tight, because like I said, this tank work with they have a vacuum in terms of the air. They balance the air ratio that returns back to the engine. There's a return line, there's a fuel line, and this is the vacuum. Alright, so air gotta be in the tank in order to balance the ratio. So we're gonna go ahead, hook up back this here, and we're gonna start it back, and then I'm gonna show you if the gauge resets by itself or if it resets as we start it. So let's see what happens. Alright guys, so finally we managed to get the cover on, the lock cover. So you're gonna put this in here, the fuel pump line, the return, and then the vacuum hose. And you're gonna connect back the fuel pump switch, and then let's put on the washer, and and let's go start it up and see what's happening. I'm gonna come this here. I'll have to go in here. This clip, you don't want to mess around with this clip, you know, so gotta be really careful with this clip. I'm gonna go and slip it on. Good. And that's it. Let's go and see when we start up what happens. Yeah, you're gonna get that because fuel will have to go to the engine now. And boom, there we go. We did it. So it was